Okay, with the creative team of Jake and Pete's Christmas special, filmmakers from the UK, we got Taylor, who's the writer, producer, and voice actor star, and then we got Luke, who's the writer, director, and voice actor star. Any other credit? You guys, I guess you guys did everything in the film, right? Did sound design, did edit, everything?
No, actually. So we have different people doing different things.
Good.
We're kind of the writing, producing side of it, and then we have someone who does the music and the other people doing a lot of the stuff. But
Okay. Who did your music? Because the music's really nice.
so the music was Emily Westman, who's based out of Seattle, I believe.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so we've kind of got a team who kind of works all over.
So are you guys are correct me if I'm wrong, you guys are originally YouTube content creators, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you guys still have your YouTube channel and you guys keep doing that. You can still create content on YouTube.
At the moment, no, because we haven't found the space to make our videos again. But individually for our own separate channels, yes.
Okay. And then now this is a big project. It's 20-minute animation film. Is this your guys' biggest project to date?
Yeah.
At the minute, yeah.
And what kind of motivated you guys to kind of like jump out of the YouTube realm and do this big kind of short film?
I mean, I kind of eased out of YouTube a couple of years ago. And so now, after doing that, I jumped into another project. And then I think doing that that used the same animation style and everything as we do in this one. But then I think after that was done, I went to Halo and kind of thought, dude, so I had this idea to work on something together again. And because it had been a while, we hadn't done a joint channel since 2020.
Okay.
So we had just decided just to work on something, and yeah, this is kind of what happened.
Well, it's pretty cool because it's all hand-drawn paper like animation, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You guys just kind of shot like photograph the drawings that you did,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. So it's all entirely stop motion. The outlines, the characters aren't directly hand drawn. They are those are drawn into a computer and then they're sent to us, which we'll then print out and
Yeah.
color in.
Who's your inspiration for this film? Is there like another film or
Mainly South Park. South Park was a
that's
huge
what I had in my head.
inspiration.
Yeah, South Park. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I think I think there's a combination of different things. I think South Park is definitely probably one of the biggest
Yeah.
kind of inspirations. I think but I think that more goes into the writing style, whereas the animation, I think yeah, that is. But I think when like we did like doing the last project that started this, I think one of the initial things that kind of I spoke about with the team was kind of like looking into other stuff. So I think with that, the South Park of it kind of was by accident because it was more inspired by Monty Python's Flying Circus, I think, the last project.
Yeah.
And which I think is also the inspiration for South Park as well, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But yeah, so I think there's kind of a mix of different things in terms of the look as well as the comedy style of it.
Yeah. Like South Park is Monty Python in animation with kids, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Social commentary.
Yeah.
They have there's a thematic, there's kind of a shot that they take a shots at. There's no they left, right, doesn't matter. They just take shots, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And I think we have that kind of motivation as well as if it's funny, it kind of has to go in.
Yeah.
We're not really political people, but when we find something funny about it, we'll
Yeah.
Yeah.
make fun out of it.
And then someone will look into give it a deep thought of what you said, and it's like, oh, he's a liberal or he's a conservative, and it's like,
Yeah.
you guys are
Yeah.
just taking shots at like,
Yeah, if it's funny about one side of it,
yeah,
we'll find that funny and we'll make fun of that. But if there's funny about the other side, we'll make fun
yeah,
of that.
Yeah.
And I think it's just finding not having it separately, but I believe more in terms of you can't really have one eye on another. There's good things and bad things about every side.
yeah.
And you
Yeah.
pick and choose what you want, who you are.
But we live in a kind of world where now, like you guys know, you guys have been on the internet your whole lives, is that everybody's picking a side, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me
Like,
about the script process for this. How did you guys collaborate in writing the script?
the funny thing is with this one, like, we didn't really have a proper sit down and write session with this one. I think we were literally just talking ideas over playing COD. I will
Yeah.
literally play video games and come up with ideas, and goes, "Oh, this would be funny," and then we kind of put that into it. And then I think once we kind of have ideas, I'll probably have notes as we're playing the game, and then we'll put it into the actual script.
Gotcha. And then who are these
With
characters? Are these you guys in school?
I think kind of. I think they're both.
in a way, it's kind of based on how we see each other, like when we were kids,
Yeah.
because we've known each other for years, like since Luke was 8, and I was 10, so we've known each other for years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think having that is kind of, it allows us to kind of, which is one of the reasons why we chose having them as kids, because there's that innocentness to it.
Yeah.
But you also have, because that was the main time because we went to boarding school, so we'd see each other probably more than we would see our families.
Yeah.
So you kind of have that mindset of who you are at that age.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of goes into it.
So yeah, according to this film, the two biggest influences is each other, your friends, and the television, I guess, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
The television is a huge influence in this film. It's like you're gathering information from the local television, but also like the big you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you guys are from a blue collar town. Is that sort of the vibe that's in the air?
Well, it's kind of different, I think, because because we always lived hours away from each other. We've never lived like within an hour. Like we probably live closer now than we've ever lived.
Yeah.
And so I think because we live probably maybe 50 minutes from each other now.
Yeah.
But I think I think the town in Jake and Pete is kind of set more Gloucestery, because I think when we went to school, Taylor would come over to my house, and I'm from Gloucestershire.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the main place we would kind of hang out. That's not in school.
Did you guys watch the Frosty the Snowman special when you were kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an influence. Like he's like Frosty, the snowman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think there's loads of different kind of mindsets, because I think, especially with the character designer, we had different ideas of what the design should look like, and eventually I got fed up, and I kind of went, okay, I shouldn't picture Frosty and go this, but make it younger. Like imagine if it was like Frosty's son, make it look like that.
Like a young Frosty.
Then who's the mom then?
Good question.
We'll find out.
The sequel, right?
We'll see. I don't know. I think the benefit with Jake and Pete is you don't have to make it into a sequel. I think if you did another Jake and Pete, you can kind of go. You can just kind of make another one instead of like making a sequel. You can go like, now Jake and Pete are doing this, and you can kind of have that TV mentality. And I think part of the mindset was a Charlie Brown's Christmas special, more mature.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, you know what? The Charlie Brown, it still holds up today. They still work. It's like 80 years old or 60 years old. It's like it still works.
I think, and also the funny thing is with the trailer, because Apple TV did a trailer for it.
Yeah.
And I basically, when we were cutting the trailer for Jake and Pete, we kind of went, okay, let's take this trailer, kind of make this so similar to it in that sense that it's kind of like mirrors that a little bit, and kind of have all of those jokes into the trailer as well.
So the film's 20 minutes, and it's a lot of, I know it's like, there is of course, there's stop motion, but you kind of frame the characters that they're not moving when they're talking. It's like they're all like kind of like South Park. They're just like sitting in a line, right? Waiting for the bus kind of situation.
Yeah.
But it still takes a long time to do this film. It's like how long did it take?
Well, I mean, we were expecting to do kind of 6 months, I think, because the last film I did, Henry VIII, took same style, but obviously we've improved upon that style.
Yeah.
And that took about 5, 6 months, 6, 7 months, I think. But I think with this, I think we were kind of thinking the same kind of time, but things just happened and it kind of extended to it. It came out to about a year, I think.
Did
Yeah.
you guys both draw? Like, were you guys both the drawer? Like,
No, so I think that was mostly me.
No, that was
Like,
mainly Luke.
yeah.
So we had a character designer who will do the outlines and kind of make it into puppets that they will then send to us, which then I will color in and cut out and then do the animation. But I think
we also had to double check with each other if the character design was good. So and it fit the theme. So there was a couple of designs that both of us didn't like that got scrapped originally.
Yeah, like if I get sent a character design and I hate it, I'll be like, we both have to kind of love it.
Yeah.
So like, if I hate it, I'll be like, no. But if I like it, I'll then say hello and come go. What do you think of this?
Yeah.
And then if he hates it, we'll change it up and work that way. But like with what you said a minute ago regarding of how they kind of just stand still as they talk,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's one of the similarities that has to Southpaw, but I don't think in my mindset when actually animating that wasn't really the thought process. The thought process was the fact that it saves so much time.
Yeah, exactly.
Because typically what you do in stop motion is you will change the mouths based on the syllables on the scene.
Yeah.
But all we do is we have 10 mouths. Every frame we have, we'll take the photo of that with every single mouth. So
Gotcha.
you could have a 30-second shot with 10 frames and just reusing the frames, which also means you can kind of go back. Like when you're in post and actually putting it all together,
yeah.
If you decide to add lines, you can add lines without having to reshoot. You can just change things out, and it saves so much time and energy and effort.
Is that what they do on South? That's what they do on South Park, I'm assuming too, right?
Kind of, yeah. I think when they did the initial stop motion stuff, now, yeah, that's what they would do. But I think I think they would have probably actually done the full sentences. Like you'll be like, say, if the line is like, you have to do this, you'll be like the woo mouth, then the e mouth, then doing that. Yeah. And as you're doing that, but if you just take every frame once, like doing that, you can literally just do it all on the computer.
But that was my next follow-up is that, did you do the voiceover first or did you do the animation first?
We did the voiceover first. So
yeah,
the first people that did the voiceover was me and Luke. We were the first ones to officially do our voice lines.
Yeah. And so, yeah, like, I mean, what we would do is we'll have the animation going on throughout the year of the practical stuff. But before you can kind of put it together, you have to get the voices done. So, because we got the voices done, I think, October?
October, yeah.
Gotcha. And then, I knew that Jesus was going to show up eventually. Watching your film, I'm like, Jesus is going to show up, right?
Yeah, definitely. But the best thing I thought about it was we had Jesus show up in the last film, Henry VIII, and the best thing I thought was we don't have to get a new character design. We can use the exact same character design and get the same voice actors. So it saves so much money on character design because we've already got it. So it just was a huge bonus.
Okay, so you guys did a few roles, right?
Yeah.
And then you had Caitlin who did the female role, right?
Yeah.
And then Matt Gallagher did another role.
Yep.
Am I missing anybody?
There's a lot of people. I think there was, including us, there's about 10 actors who are there. You have Kitty Mason, who does the OnlyFans news reporter.
That's still one of my favorite jokes.
You've got Luke Demain, who does Jesus and Santa. And when the voice acting, it's hard to remember sometimes who does what roles, and that's also another thing. So
one of the voice actors also was in Baldur's Gate 3 as well.
Oh yeah, we thought that was cool. But yeah, that was the actor who played Brad.
Okay.
But yeah, it's hard to remember everyone's names because you have such like long names, but then there's also like because I think it's harder remembering everyone because one, we never meet them. Like half the voice actors you never even meet, and two, there's also just like I think with having so many and purely having it voices, you forget who voices what.
Yeah.
Majority of them follow our pages now anyway. Majority of about 3 or 4 of them now follow our pages.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So so you guys did the one you guys did Henry VIII and you did this one. Are you guys gonna do another film now?
We are, yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about it. We've got ideas.
We're planning on a Halloween special.
I was gonna say, you're gonna go on the holiday themes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a Halloween special is definitely in the cards right now. And I think when you have something like Jake and Pete, you can kind of go, now there's this whole other thing, and you don't have to account for anything in the last one, you can kind of just focus on that.
Gotcha. And then so do you guys have a plan to make like a feature film one day or?
I think maybe. I think
it depends how big it gets.
I think we'd have to find a way to get it onto computers because because when we do the actual stop motion, that part is largely by myself in just a living room, and it's fucking horrible. I hate that part so much because it's so tedious, and if you accidentally bump the table or bump something in any way, you have to start over. And I hate
the amount of all-nighters you did. The amount of all-nighters you did. I remember, like, you texted me at 2 a.m. saying you want to play COD for a bit. I was like, oh, I'm asleep, mate.
Yeah, so I think it'd be cool to get a TV show, though. That'd be cool.
That was my. So but you guys are looking for that, but it's like it's a different world now, right? You have the YouTube kind of channel.
Yeah,
it's people you can make an income doing that, right?
Yeah, definitely. But I think it's also making it sustainable. But I don't with the time it takes to make each one.
Yeah,
it would be challenging, especially where the YouTube scale is. If you were to make stuff like this for YouTube, the time it takes doesn't get the benefit. So you could be spending 8 months on a short, post it out, and then you have to wait another 8 months to make it short. And that doesn't keep the viewers on there, which is what very YouTube is.
Yeah. Yeah, so you need constant content, right?
Yeah, so I think, exactly. So I think it's just doing that. So we have a TikTok for Jake and Pete.
Yeah, I think we've been posting some clips here and there, and the reception for those clips have been really good. People are asking when's it coming out, how can they watch it. So people are actually getting excited from the clips, which is fantastic.
Yeah. So you guys, but the plan is to put this film on your YouTube channel eventually?
No, I don't think the film itself, because I think you put so much effort into something, you want it a little bit higher from YouTube, I think.
Yeah.
And I think you get a lot of short films, but I think the thing that we can kind of stand out with JKP and the benefit that generally has is like you don't get many people who kind of will go on and tune in to watch a short film. Like you do here and there, but you wouldn't like the same as you would a movie or a TV show or something.
Yeah.
But Jake and Pete, because it's so character driven, and because you can then make another one that's just kind of the whole other thing.
Yeah.
It allows you to then kind of have it more of a property. So it separates you typically from the average short film crowd, and you can be placed more in the kind of viewing aspect as a special.
Mm-hmm.
And because it can kind of be viewed as a special, which is kind of where the name was designed by, it can kind of be listed as that thing people go on and watch at Christmas, like you would Frosty or Charlie Brown's Christmas. Or in the UK, there's this film called The Snowman, which is massive at Christmas.
Okay.
So you have all of those kind of stuff where it allows you to do that, having it just as a special. So I think the hope would be iTunes or not Spotify. Would be like Apple TV. I was looking at music. Would be like Apple TV or Prime Video or something.
Yeah, totally. They call the industry. They call these the Christmas movies, holiday movies, the gift that keeps on giving. Meaning that look at Home Alone, right? It makes millions of dollars every single year, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of having that mindset of it.
Yeah. Or like, It's a Wonderful Life. It's almost been 100 years since that movie's been made, and it keeps making money.
Whereas every single other movie that was made that year, no one would watch.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of have that mindset of it allows you to watch it. So I think you don't have to, with something like this, you don't have to settle with YouTube. You can try and get it onto those other platforms.
Also, like Elf, like my mom loves that film. She watches it every year. So,
and dare I say, there's a message in your film. The spirit of Christmas.
Oh yes, commercialism.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's that commercialism message, but I think there's also a little bit of I don't like. So one thing I hate is. And I remember, I'm pretty sure they did a South Park episode explaining this exact point, is when you have a movie or book or whatever it is, you have those people who look at something and create meanings where there isn't any whatsoever.
Yeah.
And it's interesting seeing people picking different things out and go, oh, so I really think it's about this. And it was like, where the fuck is this in this? Where the fuck does this say that at all? And I'm like, I think it's kind of having that. And I heard things already about kind of that. And I mean, I think that's kind of one of the mindsets I've always had with it.
Well, we sent you the audience feedback video. Did anything jump out for you guys with the comments?
We loved it.
We loved it. I think all of that was great. And we were really proud of that.
Put a massive smile on my face, that did.
So before we leave you, well, guys, just keep making movies. Keep doing what you're doing, right? So it's great. Yeah. I think you guys are onto something. And before we leave you, first of all, Luke, you're from the UK and you're wearing, like people are watching this on YouTube, you're wearing a Brooklyn Dodgers t-shirt.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, like the Dodgers left in 1955. It's like is there a story behind you got a football behind you? No. Like, are you American? Like, are you a secret American?
So the question I am is, me and my wife are planning to move to LA at some point.
Okay.
But like my family, like through my mum's side, is Canadian. So that's the closest we have to there. But through my grandfather. But I think I'm really into that kind of thing. So I'm really into like baseball and NFL and all of that.
Really?
So I
people watch baseball in the UK.
It's hard to watch baseball.
They do have home series in London at times.
Yeah, they did. They did last year. Yeah.
The issue I have with actually going to go see baseball is because there's loads of peanuts, and I've got severe peanut allergy.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's the issue I've always had. So me and my wife a couple of years ago went to Dodger Stadium. We watched the game there. We watched most of it. Okay. And then I had to leave early because I could just feel it all kind of getting into my system.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so I didn't end up going into anaphylactic or anything, but I think it's just when it's all in the air. Stuff like peanuts, when it's open.
But you understand the game.
Dusty.
As we're doing the podcast right now, it's March 27th. We're doing the podcast. So we'll show later, but it's opening baseball season. It's opening day today.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Is it? I've not been following it in a while, honestly.
No, I don't expect you to know. I would, if you told me the opening day for the football, like soccer or whatever, I would have no clue, right? So
neither would I. I'm not into like UK football whatsoever. Taylor's more into it than I am. But like the frustrating thing is I can't remember which one it was, but on my last year on my stag do.
It was the Champions League final.
And then that kind of goes
on
by.
Your wedding day, it was the Euro final.
Oh wow!
Yeah, And
which
I'm
was
like,
our
for
country,
fuck's
and it was
sake.
our country that was playing in that final. So
Yeah, so as you can imagine, there was a massive football session and like section. So I
Well,
was kind of like, God fucking damn it.
well, I had the parallels. I had a friend. They got married on Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh god.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Okay,
Like
that
what
would
the
be bad
hell?
but worse.
Right, so it's the same
Okay.
kind of thing. Okay, before we leave you, Luke, on the blog interview, we asked people. We'll ask you as well, Taylor. But we asked you what film you watched the most times of your life, and you said Planes, Trains, and Automobiles,
Yeah, it probably
which
is. I had
which
a
is an
hard time
80s
answering.
movie. It's there's no technology back in the day. I'm just curious why that film you've seen that
That's
the
one.
most.
See, that's one film I've always grown up with. But I think looking back, it's one of the films where like you can kind of watch over and over.
Yeah,
And like I got really into John Hughes films growing up. And I think that one in particular was just always like there that we would watch with my family a lot.
yeah.
Like not as much my brothers, but it would be like I was always into it, my dad was always into it, my uncle as well. And that was kind of just one of those films that always just kind of stood out. But I think, yeah, it was a hard one to answer because I'm a massive movie watcher.
Okay,
But I think looking back, it probably would be that.
yeah. It's a great film. It's a great
Yeah,
ending, right? So
yeah,
it's like a really kind of a sentimental. It's very
yeah,
sentimental, but it works,
yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely. And I think, and the thing is, the one thing I find so interesting is the way age rating, right? Because it's one scene in particular that makes it a 15 over a 12, where and in US an R rating.
Oh, really?
But
Oh,
yeah,
when he
it's
says
one
F, like
scene.
when he's at the
Yeah,
yeah,
that one scene is what made the age rating could change completely,
yeah.
and I just thought that was interesting. And
So
also,
the
it's also
TV
see,
version, when they used to show it on TV, they used to go freaking you. I want my freaking car. Like it was like
yeah,
it was terrible. It was awful, right?
yeah.
You can tell that they're
I
like they were
It doesn't
they
sound the
dubbed his line.
same.
It didn't add like it. You know when the sound is off when you're ADRing and the sound is levels
yeah,
are different. Yeah,
yeah. And I mean, when like I showed Taylor it when like you hadn't seen it until I showed you it when we were like
Yeah,
what 18.
we were in Spain at the time. You went on holiday with me and my family to Spain, and then one evening you were like, oh, I'm gonna show you this. It's good."
yeah,
Because
Yeah,
they made a parody of it in the Family Guy Star Wars special,
oh
and
yeah,
they did.
you were pointing it out, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you're like, "Right, I'm gonna show you it."
yeah.
It's
They
also amazing on how much stuff do parody it. Like Family Guy did that a bunch. You can see it in Deadpool and Wolverine as well. They have a massive team that parodies it,
yeah,
and there's so much things good. Like you notice that is parodying that movie, and it's
yeah.
one of the one movies that it will be parodied over and over, but no one realizes.
Yeah. Well, it's like, but Family Guys, like they're back in the day when they did the Sparrow special. It's Generation X writers, right? So it's my
Yeah,
generation writers. So they're making fun of my generation, and now it's
yeah,
like new writers. I talked to a guy who writes, who made a film, and he writes for them. And now it's all like they're like your age. Now they're gonna
yeah.
make fun of your generation, right? And Family
Yeah,
Guy.
but I mean, our generation is boring to make fun of because you can make fun of fucking everything.
Yeah.
It's every single thing you can make fun of.
But every
And
generation thinks that, right? That's the
yeah,
whole
I
point.
know, but that actually is.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You see everything in our generation,
Yeah.
and it's like, Jesus Christ, what the hell's happening?
Yeah, it's kind of
But
crazy. Were brought up in the the new invention, right?
yeah,
So I remember like you watched Pre-Change and Automobiles. That's a world without the internet, right? So
yeah,
I remember that world. You guys have no concept of that world, right? So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I think the most I remember because I can probably remember more like probably still early internet, but like it's
yeah,
because I can probably remember like 2000. My earliest memory really is probably 2002, 2003, but that's
yeah.
just so vague. But like I've naturally got a really good long term memory, but I've got a shit short term memory.
Okay.
So I can remember when I'm two, but I can't remember what I had for breakfast. Which
So Taylor, what would your answer to that question be? What film you've seen the most times in your life?
Star Wars Episode 3.
Okay, that's the one where Anakin becomes evil, goes evil, right?
That's the one, yeah.
Absolute classic as well.
I
And
remember
20th anniversary.
I remember seeing on the big screen when me, my mum, and my brother went over to the cinema, and
Yeah.
I just was mesmerized by everything. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Me and Luke are both are. But I think just the meaning of the film is just fantastic, and it's always a good film to watch. I always watch it on most Star Wars days.
It's coming up, right? April.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, May 4th, right? That's the Star Wars day.
That's the one. Yeah.
Right. I was thinking April 20th, but that's a different day, right? So yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's funny that you've got Star Wars Day on April 4th, but then you've also got the 20th. It's 20th anniversary of that movie this year as well.
Yeah.
So that's just the best thing as well.
Gotcha. Well, guys, congratulations, Luke. I know according to Film Freeway, you got a birthday coming up, so happy birthday!
Yeah, thank you.
You guys, like I said, guys, keep making movies and keep plugging along. I hope to talk to you guys again when you make your next film.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you.